How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching another video. So tonight I continue my journey into trying to find a larger EDC knife. Now normally larger blades to me are a little bit bulkier, they're heavier, they can pull your pants down, so that's why I'm carrying knives around the size of a Native 5 or a Para 3. However, tonight we have the Manix 2, which is a lightweight version of the regular Manix, and I think this might be a good solution. So the question is the Manix 2 just a larger version of the Native 5? If so, we might have a winner. Let's have a closer look. Of course, if you want to check out the actual specs on these two knives, or if at the ending of the video you want to purchase either of these knives, make sure you check the links in the description below. Alright, to start off the video, here is a difference between a Native 5 and a lightweight Manix. That's what it's going to look like in your pocket. And let's open them up so you can see the difference there when they're fully open. Again, I would consider the Manix 2 a mid-size pocket folder. There's the size difference there. Alright, let's weigh these now. And for a weight reference, we're going to be using a deck of cards. So if you know what that feels like, you get a good weight reference there. Let me zero that out for you there. Deck of cards coming in at 3.4 ounces. Here comes the Manix 2. That weighs right around 2.9 ounces. And the Native 5 coming in at 2.4, 2.5. Oi! That's going to say 2.4 ounces. So you figure that's a 5-ounce difference. So you figure a quarter, 25-cent piece, about 2 ounces. So that's going to be about 4 ounces. You figure the difference weight-wise between a Native 5 and a Manix 2, maybe like 4.5 quarters. Let's have another look lengthwise. There is a standard size Sharpie pen. There is a Manix 2. And here is the Native 5. All right, so that's what that looks like compared to a Sharpie. Let's flip them around this way. Get a better look like that. So both are definitely within the length of a Sharpie. Thickness wise, on the top of the handle, just around the size of a set of chopsticks. See, covers it up there. Manix 2, not going to be that much thicker. Okay. Covered. Now, as far as giving you a size reference for how tall the blade is, right about here by the thumb hole, I'm going to be using a ruler. Right, let's see if this can cover it up here. I'm going to be putting my thumb right on the back of the lock back there. So that's about it right there. That's pretty level. Almost totally covered. All right, Manix 2. Of course, this is going to stick out a little bit more. Okay, that's just about level there. So a lot taller, bigger knife. Now pocket clip wise, on the Native 5 you have a fully ambidextrous clip that can be carried tip up, tip down, right and left handed. The Manix 2 has that deep carry wire clip that can be switched from left to right, but not tip down. Locking mechanisms are also different. The Native 5 has a lock back here, so you're going to notice as I start to open the blade, this little bar right here is going to go down because there's a little notch cut out in the blade. So there's spring tension on the blade, and as I start to come around, it's going to disappear. But as we get into the locking position, that's going to come up, and it's going to lock into place. To release the locking mechanism, you kind of got to pinch down on it and get your fingers on the other side. Press down. That bar is going to come up, releasing the blade. Got to get your fingers out of the way and close it like that. Now the Manix 2 has Spyerdco's ball bearing locking system, and the way this works is this little plastic thing right here, which there are aftermarket parts available, that's basically like a cage like this, and there's a ball bearing sitting right in between. So as we open up the blade, this spring is going to compress backwards because the tang of the blade is going to be pressing on the ball bearing like this. And watch what happens right here. So that's the tang of the blade. See it rotating? And once you get right about here, you can see that notch right there, and when you click it into place, the spring goes forward and you got a nice lock. To undo the locking mechanism, you just pull back on the lever, close the blade. Now as far as texture goes, they both have Spyerdco's signature bi-directional grip, and it is grippy. You can see how it's lower on one side, higher on the other. Feels really good in the hand, and they both have around the same type of aggressive texture. Like one isn't smoother than the other. I will say though, this kind of clear see-through blue is awesome. Like when the light hits it, you can see all the stuff that's going on the inside of the actual handle. Alright, let's have a look at how you're going to be gripping onto these. So the Native 5 does have a front finger choil, jimping on the thumb ramp spine area, and a nice smooth scalloping area where your front finger is going to go. So that's what it's going to look like with all 4 fingers on it, and then when you choke up, it's going to look like that. Very good control with it up on the front finger choil. Alright, onto the Manix 2. It does also have a front finger choil with jimping on the thumb ramp as well. The difference here is the front groove where your finger goes is not scalloped and it's not smoothed off. So when you grip onto it, even though you can get all of your fingers on there very easily, I can feel the sharpness of these corners in here. Even when you kind of run it up here where the finger choil is at, it just moves from your pointer finger down to your middle finger. So I can feel that hot spot going on there. So that could be an issue for people that want to pick up the Manix 2. On to blade thickness, and as we can see, even though the Native 5 is the smaller knife, the blade is just as thick. I'd say probably, yep, it's around 2/4 here, 2/4 thick. And I will point out that the Native 5 does have a swedge here on the top, on both sides, whereas the Manix 2 does not. So if you're trying to throw sparks from a ferro rod, this is a really sharp 90-degree angle. And both of these knives do share the same blade shape, that's drop point design. Both have satin finishes. With the Manix 2, you're going to get the upgraded version of the BD1 with the nitrogen in it. And with the Native 5, you're going to pick up S30V, which is a steel specifically designed for knives. Now, people are going to say, well, the Manix 2's got that BD1 in it with the nitrogen, so it's better. But really, both of these knives are overly adequate for EDC purposes. So, which one of these 2 knives would I pick if I had to choose just one? Well, I gotta tell you guys, the Manix 2 Lightweight's got that drop point blade on it. It's got Spyerdco's ball bearing locking system and that sweet pocket clip. But the handle is so uncomfortable. The edges are so sharp. You can feel it all the way down to the bottom of the grip area. If you could take the Native 5 grip and put it onto the Manix 2, I would definitely switch. But for now, because of how uncomfortable the grip is on the Manix 2, I'm sticking with the Native 5. So guys, that's the ending of the video. Remember, if you want to purchase either the Native 5 or the Manix 2, make sure to check the links in the description below. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys laters.